Hey guys, Tbull. Today we're checking out the Kamikaze Tier 4 Menace. The fabled Kamikaze, the feared, and the frequently maligned. Alright, we got Space Fish, he's the commander. He's basically Tanaka, a little bit of an alteration here or there. But I recommend Tanaka for the free-to-play guys running the Japanese destroyer-oriented destroyers, which is most of the Japanese destroyers currently. Alright, so where do we get this thing? Well, I'm going to put the links in the description of this video. You can get the Firepower Deluxe Edition, which historically was about 40, 50 bucks. These days it's down below 20, I believe, on both platforms. But if you use my links, I'll get a very small commission. We're talking pennies on the dollar. Not that big of a deal for me, but I want to get this package in the hands of as many of you as possible. Easily the best bang for the buck if you're inclined to spend any money whatsoever on the game. Okay, so it's always ranked Firepower Deluxe Edition, and then campaigns usually would be my next rank in terms of where the bang for the buck is. But why is that? Well, we get Kamikaze, we get Arizona, what else is there? Iwaki, and there's one other ship. You guys remind me. But you get 4 premium ships, you get other stuff, premium time, all those sorts of goodies. It's basically a jump start to the Navy. And by the way, in a game that's relatively expensive, yes, especially for those of us that have been playing video games for a long time, and can remember the days when you can actually get a whole completed video game for 50 bucks. That was a while ago. All right, but these days, okay, if we're going to spend any money on the game, this is the way to do it. All right, so that out of the way, what's this? Well, this is going to be an ode to changing speed and directions. Okay, now, basically, I don't know how many torpedo kills we get this game, probably 5 plus. I don't think any of them are aimed off the indicator, and that's just, it's not a reliable way to torpedo ships. Because let's say that I didn't see the time to target there, but let's say it's 30 seconds to that target. From the time we launch the torpedoes till they reach his expected point, based on where he's heading right now, speed, direction. If it's 30 seconds, he's got 30 seconds to change anything. Slow down a little bit, speed up a little bit, change course a little bit, turn all the way around, do something completely different. Any one of a million ideas could cross your mind in that time. Which is why, sure, maybe taking one set on the indicator, but then another one either before or after, or maybe none of them on the indicator based on a hunch that you have that they're going to do something completely different. Oh, it looks like he's probably going to turn in here. Why don't I aim accordingly? That's how, as you get better launching torpedoes, you're going to want to try and incorporate that type of thinking. Early on, though, low tiers, you can get away with aiming on the indicator. And I would recommend, as they're trying to learn how to play destroyers, start with that, right? Just get the mechanics down. Okay, that thing, right now you can see it's orange. He's out of range. If it turns white, and why we launched, and if he's out of range, well, we got other ships, we got destroyers, and if he turns in, we might hit him. If not, the Kamikaze reloads torpedoes every like 45 seconds, no big deal. But start off with aiming on the indicator, and then as you gain experience, you've played other classes. What are these guys trying to do to counter me or my team? Then you can start to say, this is what I would do in that situation. I'm going to aim there. Dicey. Okay, now British light cruisers rushing you in a destroyer should be terrifying. The Nate takes a lot of heat. Yeah, it's one of the more fragile boats, one of the more fun ships to shoot at in the game, but it can shred, and it can certainly shred point-blank destroyers, so we want to back up from him. Sure, we should be expecting torpedoes as well. But we want to stay away from him. Don't want to get proxy spotted, which we'll see here in a second. We're getting spotted in the smoke. What's going on here? Well, this Wakeful is within 2 kilometers of me. So I'm spotting him. He spotted me just by the fact that we're within 2 kilometers of each other. Automatic. Doesn't matter if there's smoke, islands, any obstruction, doesn't matter. And that mod called RGA, Range of Guaranteed Acquisition, the one that says it increases your auto detect by 50%. That's changing that 2 kilometers into 3 kilometers. You used to find it on most battleships. Now it's a little less common, but it's still something to be aware of. And you can put it on any ship, frankly. But usually it's battleships historically that were running it, just because that was the only option they had in slot 3. All right, so we got 1 torpedo kill, and we got 1 gun kill there. We got a low health cruiser kind of playing towards the back. Saw an opportunity to shoot over the island. Got him a moment ago. Not bad. We don't have a lot of damage. We got 10k. We're trying to get the base. The base is frozen. We're going to come over here, be aggressive, try and get this destroyer off the board. We want to take these ships out. We don't have smoke right now. Okay, now that's always got to be a consideration when we're doing aggressive plays like this in the destroyer. I don't have smoke. I don't have a way to automatically disengage for 2 minutes 30 seconds. Okay, so I better be pretty confident that I can take this guy out. And due to the fact that we got teammates helping, he's low health, whatever, felt comfortable enough to make that play. Didn't actually take any damage yet, but people are shooting at us. Nikolai 1. Tier 4 premium Russian battleship. Once again, we're going to test the theory. I don't think he's going to turn. I think he's zoomed in downrange. He's presumably, well, who knows? Premium tier 4. Maybe a new player, maybe not. But he's not reacting. He's not changing speed. He's distracted. And anytime there's someone distracted, we can go ahead and hit him with these Screamer style torps and just rip him to shreds. So boom, 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 boom there. And he on with a dev strike on the Nikolai 1. So we're only up one ship here. We're only up 6 points temporarily. That'll, of course, flip very rapidly since they have 2 caps under control. We only have 1. But, you know, we're in the Kamikaze. We're going to go around nuking everything. We'll win the game in due time. We got plenty of health here. The situation's perfectly under control. Peter. We got an exposed Peter here, thrusting his way forward. And, of course, we want to put a stop to that thrust. So, we're going to go ahead and see if we can give him a whack. And I don't want to stroke his ego or anything, but we're just gonna assume that he's not turning once again, and we'll see what happens. And now I'm like, oh god, here we got a double strike opportunity. Can we line up the torps with the shot on the Marblehead? Yes, that's the goal. We got a nice whack there on the Peter. 3, 4, 5 hits. Marblehead. Oh god, we didn't get the Peter quite yet, and the Marblehead lives. Peter not flooded. You can see the damage not going up, but the Marblehead. Yeah, well, we'll get him there. With the Kraken, sure, that's fine. But I don't think that would have been fast enough for the double strike, even if we got the Peter. So valiant try, if I do say so myself. Identifying the potential for the double strike. You always want to be on the lookout for those. One of the more satisfying plays in the game, of course. But unable to perform with that Peter in the vicinity. All right, Iron Duke coming around. Well, it's worked so far. Any reason to change it up? No, not yet. Let's see. If this guy dodges, of course, we'll reload the salvo 40 seconds later, and then we'll start adjusting, okay? He's proven that he's actually going to change direction. Let's go and try and hit him with some more advanced torpedo tactics. But if he's going to sail in a straight line, we'll go ahead and nuke him. Well, sailing in a straight line. Very easy shot. And these are the battleships that get really frustrated with destroyers. They don't think you can counter them. You can't see them. He got one there with another vicious strike on the Iron Duke. They might even be tempted to go on Reddit and start complaining about the destroyers. The destroyers are frustrating until you learn how to deal with them. And part of the reason we're making this video here, sure, it's fun to watch the Kamikaze crap all over the enemy team, but it's instructive, right? If these guys are not changing speed, they're not changing directions. I think we've had 4 or 5 torpedo kills right now. None of them were off the indicator, and none of them were really point-blank range shots either. They all had time to target, opportunities to dodge. You just got to be able to read the situation. Who's spotting me? I don't know who's spotting me. There's no ship that I see that has a line of sight. If you can't see a ship that has a line of sight on the enemy team and you're being spotted, that means the destroyer's got a line of sight on you and he's relatively close. All right, so then once that information is present in your mind, then we start taking evasive maneuvers, right? If nobody's spotted me, all right, I'm not under threat, right? Destroyer would spot me if he's trying to torp me, unless he's trying to set up a ambush around an island or something. But in general, when we're spotted, we can't account for it. We're under torpedo threat, we're under destroyer threat, and we respond accordingly. Change direction, change speed, constantly do it, constantly. We not want to keep going generally where we're going, but we're going to be zigging, zagging, jerking that throttle knob up and down vigorously, and doing everything we can to dodge the torp. So if you're not doing that, then you don't really have the agency or the right to complain that vociferously about the destroyers being too powerful. They can be countered. You just got to understand what we're dealing with first and foremost. All right, so we got 6 kills. Anytime you got 6 kills, you just basically go for 7, go for 8, go for 9. Get as many kills as you can in this situation. Yeah, getting Krakens are fine, but once you get past the 5 kill threshold, then winning basically becomes secondary. And we're not going to lose this game, by the way. They got 2 ships. I still got over a third of the game left. But the Peter, now fully exposed. He's wounded. He's infected with fires, burning sensations, all sorts of problems with the Peter. He does temporarily cure that ailment, but of course the team piling on there, they're really ganging up on him, and that'll be the end of the Peters reign of terror. So, all right, Farragut just got a high caliber on the enemy, the enemy team. You can see him on the map there. He probably hit that battleship with the torpedo, which is fine. You need to be doing that torpedo play while capturing A, right? And that's something as a destroyer player, we always kind of try and emphasize when we're covering any sort of destroyer topics on the channel. Get those torpedo hits while you're doing the important things. Capturing, contesting bases, countering destroyers, spotting for your team. And, he's probably saying to himself, okay, we lost the game. I'm just going to go for some style points, get some extra HP credits, whatever. Fair enough, but I think he could still potentially be capturing A and hitting the, he got the kill there. He's got a Kamikaze on the enemy team. You can check the roster. I don't know with our other destroyers. I think he's pretty low health when we do see him, so that may be factoring into his decision-making. But even in this situation right now, like you can say, okay, he didn't get A, he was fighting the battleship, fine. But rather than turn around, get A, increase the score or whatever, he's just kind of sailing off, trying to avoid damage. Now, we're actually covering this topic later today on Bull Bites, the channel, the second channel of myself. So if you're watching this live and you're, number one, check out Bull Bites, link in the description. You can subscribe to that. Shorter clip videos, just kind of covering like a given topic or whatever rather than a full game. But common misconception, I hear it a lot from players, old and new. It's a very widely held misconception. But people think, okay, I get higher scores for staying alive longer into the match, staying alive, period. If I don't die, beautiful. My score goes up, my credits, XP, or whatever, less damage taken, whatever it is. None of these affect your score whatsoever. Okay, the score is based on things that affect your team's ability to win the game. Damage to enemy ships, capturing bases, spotting and related topics, tanking damage, whatever else. So we cover that scoring in depth today on that video if you want to check that out. But keep in mind, sailing away like this, you're not increasing your score, I guess is the point I'm trying to make. So we're trying to hunt him down. We don't want him to get away with this, and we want that 7th kill. And of course, with the help of Twist and Track, we know roughly where he is. And trying to head him off. So I think he's just kind of sailing to the northeast. Again, in preservation mode. But we're not going to... He doesn't have enough time to... And not enough room on this map to evade the impending peril via Kamikaze. So, go ahead and get all those guns ready to fire. Aim, pull the trigger, and... boom, down he goes. 7 kills. All right, that's all I got the Kamikaze for, guys. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. Lots of World of Warships coming for you all the time. Questions, comments, leave them below. Love to hear from you guys, and we'll see y'all later. All right, peace.